So let's go ahead and read this zero tolerance from one team. It has the Goodyear logo on there. Now, here's what they say is acceptable for employment at Goodyear: Black Lives Matter, BLM, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, pride, LGBT. Okay, so that's the only, according to this slide here. Now, unacceptable: Blue Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, MAGA attire, which is Make America Great Again, and politically affiliated slogans or material. Understand what I'm about to impart on you. I don't have a problem with that in and of itself. If that's how you run your business, more power to you. You go ahead and do that. You have made a political statement. BLM and supporting BLM should not be a political statement, but it is now, regardless. Now, I've said this many times in the past. Let me reiterate this. One, in and of itself, saying Black Lives Matter should not be a political statement, but it is. But by saying that, I don't have a problem with it. If you want to say it, not a problem. However, if I were going to say all lives matter, you should not have a problem with it, as just because I didn't have a problem you saying Black Lives Matter. By the way, all lives matter. It should not be groundbreaking. There should not be a controversy, but it is now. Let's go to the message from Goodyear to our customers, partners, and associates. The visual in question was not created or distributed by Goodyear Corporate, nor was it part of a diversity training class. Then why is your logo on it? Now, it didn't say Goodyear, it says one team. I want to know what organization did this. So if it's not a part, why are you giving a statement about it? It should be just said, this is not us, this is not part of our company, that's it. Let's go ahead and read it. Yesterday, Goodyear became the focus of a conversation that created some misconceptions about our policies and our company. For those not aware, a widely circulated image sparked a strong reaction, and we wanted to take the opportunity to provide some important context to the visual and our policies. Okay, from where this visual was taken from, it was taken from a training class. But you're going to see here, they're going to say it wasn't. First, the visual in question was not created or distributed by Goodyear Corporate, nor was it part of a diversity training class. Yeah, you didn't create it. Outsource these things to other companies to help educate your workforce. So that's sort of a lie, Goodyear. To be clear on our long-standing corporate policy, Goodyear has a zero tolerance for any forms of harassment or discrimination. Well, if you're right to Pol Pot, then you're probably part of the enemy, according to Goodyear. To enable a workforce free of those, we ask the associates to refrain from workplace expressions in support of political campaigning for any candidate or political party. I agree, you shouldn't. As well as similar forms of advocacy that fall outside the scope of racial justice and equity issues. Okay. Understand racial justice and equity issues is in itself a political issue. Goodyear, you're fucking up. And you'll continue to fuck up in your second paragraph. Second, here we go. We appreciate the diverse viewpoints of all of our more than 60,000 associates, which are the heart of the many of the policies we establish. Fostering an inclusive, respectful workplace is important to establish teamwork and build culture. This sounds like it's written from a douchebag, which is another reason we ask associates not to engage in political campaigning of any kind in the workplace for any candidate, party, or political organization. Once again, you goddamn morons, Black Lives Matter, racial justice, and equity issues is a political issue. And let's be honest here, Goodyear, those issues fall on the left side of Pol Pot, Stalin, and Mao. Bet you didn't know that. No, you know that. This is why you're pulling this bullshit right now, because you're in damage control. But again, I don't really think you care. You think most of the time this will blow over. It may, and you probably lose a couple $1 million of sales and about that, but eventually people are going to ignore it and sort of forget about this. And the third paragraph here. Third and finally, Goodyear has always wholeheartedly supported both equality and law enforcement, and we will continue to do so. These are not mutually exclusive, nor should they be. But you've already stated in your previous 2 paragraphs that it is mutually exclusive. You can't have, I guess, Blue Lives Matter or All Lives Matter, because you only accept Black Lives Matter and any other equity issues, if you will. We have heard from some of you that you believe Goodyear is anti-police after reacting to the visual. Nothing could be further from the truth. And we have the utmost appreciation for the vital work police do on the behalf of our shared communities. This cannot be said strongly enough. Question out there for the comment section. Do you believe this bullshit Goodyear is spewing out? I sure as fuck don't. And if you thought that wasn't going to end, you were correct. For Matt Walsh, leaked audio suggests Goodyear's discriminatory policies are even worse than first reported. Now you can find this on YouTube and other streaming sites of this leaked audio. So let's go over the story real quick here. After a leaked slide from an employee training course of the Goodyear Topeka plant went viral, revealing a discriminatory policy that allows Black Lives Matter and LGBT shirts and apparel, but not Blue Lives Matter or All Lives Matter, the media has been scrambling to come up with the sort of excuse for their new favorite tire company. Of course, because that's the time we live in. They are especially determined to defend Goodyear right now that President Trump has stepped into the fray to voice his entirely justified objection to a company that allows expression of support for a radical Marxist organization, but no expressions of support for law enforcement or all lives in general. That is the best paragraph I've read about this whole story right now. It boils it down all the way to the bone marrow. This is exactly what's going on. Goodyear is allowing only some speech, but not other speech. It allows far left speech, but nothing right of Pol Pot, Mao, and Stalin. Can't have that. Goodyear has issued a clarification, which after sifting through the obfuscating jargon, is actually not a clarification at all, which it isn't. Even less, it's an apology. Here's the full statement. I've already read it. So the slide was not created or distributed by Goodyear Corporate, and it's not part of this diversity training class. That is a far cry from denying that it exists or that it actually reflects their policy. As I was saying, the rest of the statement would only seem to confirm, in so many words, that employees are only permitted to voice certain approved views on certain approved issues. There you go. I couldn't have said it better. Matt Walsh does this country a service that we all need. He boiled it down and reflects on exactly what Goodyear was saying, actually what they weren't saying. Indeed, audio from the training session at the Topeka plant has been leaked to WIBW, which would seem to put all doubt to rest. According to the audio, employees are instructed that they may express their views on social justice or inequity or equity issues such as Black Lives Matter or LGBTQ pride on their face coverings, shirt, or wristbands. However, they are informed that such expression is approved and in accord with the zero tolerance policy. However, any associate who wears anything that says all, blue, or white lives matter, I'm not sure who would say white lives matter, because even though that technically should be okay in the same realm as Black Lives Matter, you sort of dabble into that area where it shouldn't but it seems a little racist-y, a little bit. So you can't say that. But you can't say all lives matter because that's racist too, according to the far left. Or blue lives matter. Of course, that's far left jargon for saying that's racist. Will be deemed as having acted inappropriately. WIBW reports. Some people may wish to express their views on social justice or inequity or equity issues such as Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ pride on their face covering shirts or wristbands. That will be deemed approved because it applies with a zero tolerance stance, the speaker said during the meeting. However, if any associate wears all blue White Lives Matter shirt or face coverings, that will not be appropriate. The unidentified speaker says the rules were created to make a better work environment. Really? You shouldn't do anything. You're selling fucking tires. You're not selling, you're not doing a bake sale for Black Lives Matter here, trying to, fill up their coffers. You're not supposed to do that. You're selling goddamn tires. Don't get involved in this. But you dabbled your toe in the water, and now it's getting bitten by the goddamn piranhas. The rules around now, what you can wear. Let's try and comply with these so everybody feels good in this factory. How about not doing anything? Wear a uniform that's applicable to working in a factory. How about that? How about we get off the goddamn fucking bullshit, blue lives matter, Black Lives Matter? How about we get rid of it all and just fucking work? How about that? How about we do that? No. Can't do that because of bullshit like this. We all work together to make tires, and that's what we do. That's what we get paid to do. So let's continue to do that and do the right thing and keep this place what it has always been, a good workplace, the speaker said. Based on the audio, the policy is even worse than the first reported. I doubt that it's even legal for an employer to tell workers they may express pride in one race, but not the other. Thank you, Matt Walsh. Exactly. So you can express pride in Black Lives Matter. What about Latino Lives Matter? Can you say that? Probably. White Lives Matter? Nope, that's racist. Well, why? If you can say one thing and you can't say the other thing, that's racist in and of itself. The shameless hypocrites in the media who have previously claimed that cancel culture is a myth now insist that those of us who object to this grotesque discrimination are participating in cancel culture. CNN declared that the president has embraced cancel culture by speaking out. But you've been doing it the whole goddamn time. MSNBC liked that talking point and adopted it as well. Alleged news anchor Don Lemon lashed out at Trump, calling him the biggest snowflake of them all and a hypocrite when it comes to cancel culture. So goddamn it, Don Lemon. So let me get this straight. You fucking asshole. So let me get this straight. You guys can play that fucking cancel culture bullshit, but when we on the sane right decide to fucking do this, we're snowflakes? Fuck you, Don Lemon, you piece of god. Anyways, for a good measure, he's also a bigot and a racist according to Lemon. Don't worry, a news anchor can say all this stuff because we are informed these changes are not opinions, but rather facts. But speaking of hypocrisy, we don't need to strain very hard to imagine how the likes of CNN, MSNBC, and everyone else on the left would react if Goodyear or any other company instituted a policy in the reverse. Bingo. If the rules allowed for all lives matter and blue lives matter, but explicitly banned Black Lives Matter, every single person currently defending Goodyear and mocking as snowflakes, anyone who criticizes them would be convulsing with rage. And if, I shudder to imagine, Goodyear had said that White Lives Matter is acceptable and Black Lives Matter is not, all of these same people would be accusing the company of committing a hate crime and calling for it to be disbanded. Anyone within the sound of my voice would know that to be true. And those that be the most reasonable and measured responses. We can also assume that a few Goodyear locations would currently be lying in their smoldering ruins and the looters would have a stash of tires to go with their burgeoning collection of stolen shoes and purses. There's no denying this. We all know how it would go. Yet we are supposed to shrug at discrimination in the other direction. If not, applaud it. I'm not going to play along with that game. One rule and one standard should be applied. Goodyear is guilty of both racial and ideological discrimination, and nothing will make that okay. It will make that okay. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say here, along with Matt Walsh here. The hypocrisy, the double fucking standards of the far left and Black Lives Matter and these equity issues that you can promote, but if you say Blue Lives Matter or All Lives Matter, you're a racist, bigot, homophobe. How is that? How is that? Well, until the people on the sane right, and I'm talking about people right of Pol Pot, Stalin, and Mao, until those people, including myself, actually have the fucking balls to stand up to these goddamn, it'll all continue. But once we stand up to this and push back, all of this will cease to exist.